This presentation will cover Facebook and tailored messaging. Thank you for joining myself and my audience for this discussion. Love them. When you log into Facebook, what do you see? I see BuzzFeed quizzes and videos of dogs being adopted. I see articles about relationships and vicious crimes. These are the things I'm constantly exposed to on Facebook. But here's the kicker. What I see is completely different from what you or any other Facebook user sees. Why is this? Because the messages I view are tailored to my opinions, beliefs, and behaviors, and yours are too. Facebook has become an anti-social media, and it creates a social environment that promotes further division amongst its users through data collection and tailored messaging. First, I will discuss what Facebook is and how it's been used throughout the years. Second, I will discuss the effects Facebook has on society with the help of Siva Vaidhyanathan's text, Anti-Social Media. And finally, I will discuss real-world instances where Facebook's message tailoring has affected behaviors and attitudes. Since 2006, Facebook has been available to anyone who claims to be over the age of 13. Over the years, Facebook has sparked controversy on issues of user privacy and the psychological effects of the information on the site. Facebook has been involved in some of the biggest debates about user privacy and what they do with the data they collect on its users. Anti-Social Media, How Facebook Disconnects Us and Undermines Society, by University of Virginia professor Siva Vaidhyanathan, discusses the influence Facebook has on our thoughts of privacy and how it's affected the political climate. We tend to think of privacy in a constitutional sense, but with the rise of technology in the mass media world, we now view our privacy as something talked about in the terms and conditions section that no one reads. We just hit agree and move on. We unconsciously trade our privacy for online entertainment, and we do not consider that we are under constant surveillance. We will evaluate Facebook through its audience attraction, audience conditioning, and cognitive type effects through its dissemination of social information. Facebook appeals to your pre-existing needs and interests in order to increase positive associations with your online experience. That's why they ask you questions while you're setting up your account, in addition to recording what you've identified as an interest. Much of the information we see on Facebook is not inherently high in quality. It elicits emotions rather than thought. I get all warm and fuzzy inside when I see a video of a dog being adopted. I become enraged when I see articles about child crimes. The biggest issue is that the messages we are shown encourage strong emotions, not thoughts and discussions. The comments underneath these emotionally charged posts are a perfect example of this phenomenon. This video of a man who was paralyzed after an interaction with the police left people saying things like this in the comment section. Nowhere in this video does it say exactly what caused the officer to shoot him. Instead, people want to immediately jump on the cop. This is typical of a lot of people who want to crucify someone without getting the full story. The second comment, please just search for the story yourself. He isn't to blame. The police officer is. The police mistook him for a gang member, thought he had a gun and shot him several times. That's it, he was the victim. This sparks an obvious division. People feel strongly about issues like this, and instead of creating conversation, posts create an environment where the most negative comments get the most attention. And the more you interact with these posts, the more of them you will see. Audience conditioning is defined as a strategy used by media organizations to make their existing audience members want to continually expose themselves to their subsequent messages. Facebook conditions you for repeat exposure. It presents you with the messages you like or hate, so you will continue to use the site. In a political sense, Anti-Social Media, reviewed by Washington Post journalist Nicholas Carr, says it best. The messages that grab the most attention on social media are tightly targeted, highly charged appeals to emotion, not reasoned arguments. It's no longer necessary for a candidate to offer a general vision of government or society. In an era of brute force micro-messaging, partisanship trumps statesmanship, pandering trumps policymaking. Facebook has a cognitive type effect on users because it feeds us with repeat messages based on what we most commonly view. A cognitive type effect is defined as a type of media-influenced effect that is manifested as the acquisition of information, factual or social, as well as the triggering, alteration, or reinforcement of mental process. Facebook plants this information in your mind and influences your behaviors and attitudes without us even realizing it. For example, as a Facebook user, I've seen several videos and articles about police brutality. Without even thinking about it, I find myself increasingly wary of policemen on a daily basis. This fear may be warranted, but the more plausible explanation is that Facebook has affected me cognitively through all the negative things that I have seen on the site. Why does this matter? It's a smart move for Facebook to tailor our feeds because it increases user satisfaction and approval rates. Even in the recent swirl of accusations about Facebook misusing personal user information, there are still millions of people everywhere who use it daily. What matters is the fact that many people do not understand the impact Facebook has on our lives. Mindlessly scrolling through your newsfeed seems harmless until you realize that the messages you're exposed to encourage barriers and disconnections between you and the people who have different news feeds based on their own interests. In conclusion, Facebook is an anti-social media that creates further societal division through the collection of data and target messaging. Facebook is inherently a communication tool, but in recent years it has morphed into something more. Message tailoring on Facebook is so strong that it can influence our daily decisions, and the content presented through Facebook elicits emotions and rash action rather than thought. The next time you get on Facebook, pay close attention to the messages you see. Experiment by clicking on things you normally wouldn't and watch your feed transform. If there's any doubt in your mind that Facebook is tailoring its messages to best fit your emotions, then do something unexpected and it will become clear as to how much information you are truly blind to. As said by the Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness. So, as media consumers, it's our duty to turn on the light. Thank you.